We'll get started in a cross-legged position. Have a yoga block available at the ready if you have one. And take a moment to close the eyes and just settle in preparation for wonderful practice of yoga. I just read today that the average person has over 60,000 thoughts a day. Now, if you've ever tried to practice, well, sitting here in stillness for a couple of minutes before class is practice in itself. Or if you've ever tried to practice meditation, or when you're coming down in Shavasana, you may well notice that that's likely not an exaggeration, 60,000 thoughts in a day. And if you were to sort of step back just slightly and observe what those thoughts are, you'll find that many of them are just recycled old news. Same thought again and again, and maybe again and again for the last 40 years, the same concerns, the same anticipations, the same ruminations. So the practice of yoga, we have this drawing inwards so that you can notice how scattered the mind has a tendency to be. And you can start to calm those thoughts down. And one of the most effective ways of doing that is bringing your awareness to the physical body and making an exploration of your body the most interesting thing. Note whether the sitting bones feel balanced or if one feels sharper than the other. Notice the knees, if one feels lifted higher than the other. Move upwards towards the pelvis. See if you can't balance the pelvic bowl so that it's neither tilting forward or slumping back. And begin to elongate the spine through the side body, across the rib cage. Visualize the front of the shoulders, the fronts of the armpits, and lift upwards from there. And soften your shoulder blades down your back. Broaden the collarbones, draw the shoulder blades towards the spine. Begin to lengthen your neck, sides of the neck. Front of the throat is soft. Back of the neck is long. Sit a little bit taller still. Lift from the crown of the head, the highest points of the ears. And maintain some of that height and start to breathe more deeply. The breath is another effective means of honing the mind, beginning to discipline the mind to calm some of those 60,000 thoughts. You can count the length of your inhale as you pull the breath all the way down towards the lower belly. Count the length of your exhale as you empty out the lungs completely. Inhale, lift the navel upwards towards the lower ribs. Exhale, soften the tailbone towards the mat. Inhale, rising upwards, front of the torso, heart center lifts. Exhale that soft, lengthening back of the body. Breathe in fully. And exhale deeply. Take another inhale, lift, crown of the head, lengthen the side torso. And as you exhale, round the spine, draw the chin towards the chest, soften the shoulders inwards, and press your spine towards the earth behind you. Draw the chest through the gate of the arms, pull your hands against your knees, lift your heart center. Exhale as you round chin to the chest, drop the belly back towards the spine. Inhale, heart center lifts. Exhale, chin to the chest. Once more, breathing in. And exhale. Move through spinal rotations. Synchronize your breath with movement. So you take that first aspect, the body, connect it with the second aspect, the breath, and you have what we call vinyasa yoga, synchronizing body and breath. On your next inhale, change the direction. And allow your rotations to get smaller and smaller and smaller, circling back to the center line. Take another breath in, sit tall, and at the top of your inhale, hold the breath, soften the jaw, relax the shoulders, and slowly and patiently exhale. Exhale, empty out the lungs, and allow the breath to find its natural rhythm. Open the eyes, uncross, recross the legs, take the other shin in front. A couple side stretches to just warm things up. Plant the right hand, take the left arm along the plane of the cheek and reach through the fingertips. You can drop the right ear towards the shoulder and then drop the chin down towards the floor. Maybe adjust the position of the head, looking for a stretch through the neck. And push into your lower hand. Come on up for a spinal twist facing left. Your right hand tug against the left knee. Unwind back through center and plant your left hand. Take the right arm up and along the plane of the cheek. Same stretch, opposite side. Fan open your right rib cage with every breath in. So that as you inhale, the rib cage fans open, fingertips really reach towards that side wall. You can drop the ear towards the shoulder. Drop the chin down. Adjust the position of the head. Look for a stretch in through the neck. Push into your lower hand, come on up. And find a spinal twist facing right. And unwind back through center. You can uncross your legs, plant your feet, plant the hands towards the hips, but pointing towards the side wall. Roll the shoulders back and down, push into the palms of the hands and lift your heart center. Feel that arch coming through the mid and upper back. So spine moving upwards into the shoulder blades. Sternum lifts towards the sky. And look forward and swing your legs to the side. Come on to the hands and the knees. Start to move through cat-cow. Move at your own pace, waking up the spine. And don't feel as though you have to really stick to this sort of forward and rounded motion. You could do a little hip to the side, hip to the side. Just kind of get into those places that feel a little bit more dense. Come to a flat back position, extend your left leg, turn the toes under, press back through the heel. To bring that awareness to your core here, pull the belly to the spine, dome the upper back. So really pull the belly in, try to round out through the upper back. Lengthen through the back of the neck, not dropping the head down. Then you'll squeeze your left glutes to float the leg up. Don't worry about lifting the leg up high. In fact, you really don't want the leg to go any higher than ankle aligned with that left hip. Absorb the front ribs away from the earth, navel to the spine, dome the upper back, walk the right fingertips forward. Press back through the left heel, navel to the spine, dome the upper back, stretch right fingertips forward, lower back to the mat. Take the right hand, palm facing up, slide it underneath the left one. Walk your left arm forward overhead and release your right ear, really more precisely the right temple towards the floor. And stretch out the back of the right shoulder. And send the right arm through, back onto hands and knees. Do one cat-cow, take an inhale, lift sitting bones. Exhale, dome the spine, pull the belly in, and come to a flat back. Extend the right leg, toes turned under. If you're feeling this in the wrist, particularly if you do a lot of typing in the day, you could come down onto the forearms. It's actually even a little bit more challenging to do that. Squeeze your right glutes, float the leg up, and now notice if you're dropping the chest and belly towards the floor. Absorb the front ribs back. This is what makes it a real strengthening version of the pose. So pull the belly in, dome the upper back, press the space between your shoulder blades to the sky, and then extend the left arm forward. Check in with all of those things again. Right heel, navel to spine, upper back rounding, front ribs absorbed, left fingertips reaching, and release. Turn your left hand, palm facing up, slide it underneath the right arm. Release left temple towards the floor, walk the right arm overhead. Press into your right hand and slide your left arm through. Plant the hands, take an inhale, arching the back. Exhale, round your spine. Pause here, hook your fingerprints into the floor. Kind of like a little spidey grip with the fingertips. Look towards the belly, hover your knees above the mat. Pull the belly in, press the hands down, dome the upper back, and shift your hips back, half downward facing dog. Release the crown of the head towards the thumbs so your ears are alongside the biceps, not any further than that. You're not just hanging the head. A bit of awareness there. Come forward again. Hover your knees above the mat. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round the spine, half downward facing dog. Of course, you could always take the knees to the mat if you needed to, if those quads needed a bit of a break. One more time, inhale forward, hover the knees, arch the back, grip the fingertips, round your spine, breathe out, half downward facing dog, 3 deep breaths. And of course, there are those deep yogic breaths, so it takes a lifetime to breathe for a count of 3. Finally, pedal out the heels, a little shift of your hips. And when you're ready, settle into downward facing dog in stillness. Here is an opportune time to bring your awareness to your thoughts. And just notice the nature of them, the speed. If you have the ability to focus only on the sensation in the body, movement of the breath. Walk your way to the back of the mat and fold over the legs. You can soften your knees, belly to the thighs, crown towards the earth. Take opposite hand to elbow. While you're down here, look at your feet. See that they're aligned in the same way. Outer edges of the feet line up with the outer edges of the mat. Lift up your toes. Ground down through the mounds of the big toes. Press firmly through there and then soften the toes themselves down. Lengthen through the back of the neck. And you can nod the head yes and no. Release the arms. Keep your knees soft. Round your way up through the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Stretch the arms all the way up overhead. Interlace your fingers. Take another inhale. Lengthen through the back line of the body. Exhale. Hinge over to your left. Rest the head on the lower arm. Draw the gaze towards the ceiling. And with your lower hand, tug gently on the upper arm. Inhale, center, and exhale to the right. Head rests on the lower arm. Gaze towards the ceiling, right hand tugging gently on the left one. Inhale, back up to center. Release the arms down, interlace your hands behind you. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift the sternum, heart center towards the sky. Fold just halfway down, connect with your core. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Pull the front ribs into your torso. Navel to the spine. Take another breath in. Reach the crown of the head away from the tailbone. And as you exhale, fold over the legs. Look between the knees. Arms float up. You can shift them gently from side to side. And release your hands down. Walk your way forward again, downward facing dog. Step your feet side by side at the back of the mat. Come up high onto the balls of the feet. Press your torso back towards the thighs, an inverted V shape. Spin your heels to the right, reach them towards the floor, and look under the left arm. Lift the hips back up through center. Spin your heels to the left. Look under the right arm. Hips lift back up, separate your feet, look forward. Find your way to the top of the mat, lift halfway up once you get there, and fold over the legs. Separate the feet hip width distance, take opposite hand to elbow. Find the awkward feeling way. This time legs are straight. Look at your kneecaps. Notice if they are
acting in the same way? Or does one rotate more towards the baby toe, one more towards the big toe? Try to turn the kneecaps towards the second toe. Do so from deep in the hip socket. Pull the navel to the spine. Take an inhale, come just halfway up. Lift your forearms up towards the ceiling. Pull the points of the elbows forward. Root down through the feet. Inhale all the way up. Swing the hips forward. And exhale, hinge to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold forward over the legs, half sun salutations. Inhale and lift halfway up. Exhale, a deeper forward fold. Let's add Utkatasana, bend the knees. Inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. Exhale, deepen the bend in your knees. Press into your feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Keep flowing. Exhale, fold over the legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Bend the knees, arms up, breathe in. A deeper bend in the knees, exhale. Rise up, legs straight, inhale. Fold forward, navel to the spine, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Bend your knees, inhale, stretch the arms overhead, Utkatasana. A deeper bend in the knees. Legs straight, inhale, rise up. We're adding on, exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Step the right foot back to a lunge. Come up onto the fingertips. Rotate the palms of the hands towards each other. And rather than sinking into the hip joints, drive down through the left heel and press the right heel back like you want it to press against the wall behind you. Lift up your left toes. Spread them out. Press the mounds of the big toe down. Soften them back down. Take the arms up alongside of the body. Lift your baby fingers towards the sky. Keep driving down through the left heel, pressing back through the right one. Lock the elbows. Feel the triceps engage. Here's the fun part. Take an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As you do, bend your right knee, hover the knee above the mat. And if the knee taps down, of course, perfectly fine. Lower your hands to the floor, straighten out your left leg just as much as you can. Crown of the head towards the top of the foot. And rebend into your left knee. We'll repeat. If the right foot kind of slid back, if you feel unsteady, adjust your stance so that you feel firmly rooted. Not sinking into the joints. Drive down through your left heel, press back through the right one. Rotate the palms towards each other. Stretch the arms back behind you. This time, rotate thumbs towards the sky and lift the arms up as high as you can. Baby fingers towards the sky. Back to that really fun part. Take arms overhead, bend your right knee. Inhale, high lunge. Feel free to tap the knee down. Straighten out the right leg as best you can. And lower your hands down, straighten out the left leg as best you can, crown of the head towards the top of the foot, and you can step the right foot in a little bit. Angle the right foot slightly to the right. You don't have to have really flexible calf muscles to get that heel down. Squeeze the outer left hip back, release crown of the head towards the top of the foot, and we'll take 5 deep breaths here. Allow the breath to deepen, the thoughts to lessen, the nervous system to relax. Bend your front knee, come onto the ball of the back foot, step forward and fold. A mini break here, opposite hand to elbow. Rock from side to side. Return to neutral, take a bend in the knees, stretch arms up overhead, inhale. Exhale, deepen the bend in your knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale and fold over the legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step the left leg back. So yes, unfortunately, to even everything out, we have to repeat it all again on the other side. Outer edge of the right foot aligns with the outer edge of the mat. Press back through the left heel. Slide the right knee forward, but then lift your right toes, spread them out. Press the mound of the big toe down. Soften the digits back down, but see that you are driving down through the right heel. Pull the navel to the spine and rotate the palms towards each other. You could do all of this with the left knee on the floor. You don't have to wait to come into that high lunge before you drop the knee down if you need a little bit of a breather. Take the arms back behind you. Baby fingers lift up towards the ceiling. Lock the elbows. Try to squeeze the palms of the hands towards each other. And moving into the high lunge, don't forget to bend your left knee. Take an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Hover your left knee above the mat. Hold and breathe. Lower the hands to the floor. Straighten out the right leg just as much as you can. Crown of the head towards the top of the foot. If you had that yoga block here, you could use it. And soften back into the right knee. Press back through the left heel. Let the front knee slide forward. Pull the belly towards the spine so that you have that core engagement supporting the pose. Rotate palms towards each other. Drive down through the heel. Soften the grip of the toes. Press back through the left heel. And float the arms up back behind you. This time, rotate thumbs to the sky. Lift the hands up as high as you can. Lock the elbows. Squeeze shoulders away from the ears. Then into that fun part, rotate baby fingers to the sky. Soften the left knee. Inhale, arms up overhead. Whew. High lunge. Hold for 3. Hands come to the floor, straighten out the right leg. Crown of the head towards the top of the foot. This time, step your left foot in slightly. Plant the heel, fold, and take 5 deep, soothing breaths. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot, bend your front knee, step forward to the top of the mat, and fold over the legs. Take the awkward interlacing of your hands behind you, so interlace, then reinterlace other index finger close to the tailbone and float the arms up off the back. Attempt to pull your hands apart without actually doing so. Feel that widening across the collarbones. Press into the feet, take an inhale, rise up, a baby back bend as you exhale, and come to neutral. Little bit of tree pose, right foot grounded, pick the left foot up. So this is, of course, especially cruel because we've done all of that leg work, and now we're asking the leg to balance all on its own. Imagine that small little ankle joint supporting the entire body. Now check in with your right glutes. Give them a little squeeze. Press the left foot into the right leg, wherever it is. And at the same time, press the right leg into the foot. Inhale and stretch the arms up. If you've practiced tree pose a lot and you want to bring your gaze up towards the ceiling, up towards your thumbs, for that extra challenge, go ahead, try that. Look forward, lower the arms and the foot down, change sides. Shift the weight into the left, pick the right foot up. Hands meet. Interesting how much we rely on our eyesight to have balance and stability. Maybe try to take an extra long blink. Just a longer blink. And how does that impact the pose? Next, breath in, stretch the arms up overhead, root down through the left foot. And if you want to bring the gaze towards the ceiling, and look forward, lower the foot down. Top of the mat, if you're not already there, stretch the arms up overhead. Inhale and exhale as you fold. Inhale, lift halfway up, elongate the spine. Exhale, step your right foot back, turn to face the long edge of the mat. It doesn't matter which edge you're facing. Bring the hands to the hips, push into your feet, rise up, tuck the heels in slightly, rotate your toes out 20 or 30 degrees, and bend into the knees, a yoga squat. Squeeze the knees back towards the wall behind you in the direction of your baby toes. And use your middle fingers right at the front of the pelvis here to lift the front hip bones up. Send the tailbone down. Hold and breathe.
Keeping your torso aligned right here in the midline. Come up onto the ball of the right foot. And drop the heel down. Ball of the left. And drop the heel down. Sink a little bit deeper. Hold for 3. And press into your feet. Rise up. Pivot your toes to face forward. Slide the heels slightly out and come forward over the legs. Prasarita Vadokanasana. Release the crown of the head towards the floor, and you might nod the head yes and no. And you could stay here or take your hands to the mat, or opposite hand to elbow. You could interlace the hands behind your back if you liked, or any variation that you prefer. Take the hands to the upper thighs. Push into your legs. Breathe in. Come all the way up. Hands to the hips. Pivot the toes to point out again. Rebend into the knees. Squeeze the knees back towards the baby toes. Use your middle finger. Lift the hip bone. Send the tailbone down. Keeping the torso aligned through center. Lift up the right toes. And drop them down. Lift up the left toes. And drop them down. Drive down through both heels. Lift up all 10 toes. Soften down and hold. 3 deep breaths. And press into your feet. Rise up. Tuck the toes in. Fold over the legs. Come just halfway down. Take your right fingertips to the floor and reach your left arm up. Lean back from the center of the back of the skull. You can just draw the head back. And take the left hand down. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And lower the hand down. Pivot to face the front of the mat in a lunge position, front knee bent. And step back, downward facing dog. We'll take 5 deep breaths. Crown of the head towards the thumbs. Push the mat forward with the hands. Take your awareness to your breath. Lengthen it out. And bring your knees to the floor. Sit back towards the heels. Rest your forehead down on your hands or the mat or a block, whichever you can reach. And lift up the head and walk all the way forward onto your stomach. Take the hands wide, take the fingertips all the way off the mat. You're tenting your fingertips, points of the elbows towards the sky. Press the tops of the toenails, all 10 of them, into the floor. Don't forget your baby toes. Then stretch from the inner edges of the feet. Elongate the legs through the inseam of the legs, so through the inner thighs. Press your front hip bones down. Take an inhale and lift the chest up. You don't have to lift the chin up, just the chest. Reach your legs strongly back. Take another inhale, drag the belly forward. And exhale, soften down. Same thing, breathe in, lift the chest, send the tailbone towards the heels. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other and down the back. One more inhale. And exhale. Release. Last time. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Drop your left shoulder, look to the right. Inhale back through center. Drop your right shoulder, look to the left. Last time, back through center. Inhale, lift the chest. Pull the belly forward, send the tailbone down. And slowly release. You can bring the arms alongside of your body, palms up, forehead on the mat or on your forearms. Let the front of the shoulders release down. Take your left ear to the floor. Take your right ear to the floor. Forehead comes down, give your hips a gentle shift from side to side. Bring your hands under your shoulders, turn your toes under, send the hips back, child's pose. So you can have toes turned under, or you can be on the tops of the feet. Walk your torso to the right and take your left hand on top of the right one. Walk your hands over to the left. Right hand on top of the left one. Send the hips back towards the right heel. And back through center. Sit all the way back into your variation of child's pose. You could have the arms alongside of the body, slightly more restful. Only if that's comfortable for the neck, if you have a means of supporting the weight of your head. Pull the breath down into the lower back. And as you exhale, feel the weight of the torso sink. Hands come under the shoulders, press into the palms. Lift the head up, swing the legs over to the right side, turn to face forward and find a wide space between the legs. Upavishta Konasana, you can tent the fingertips by the outer hips, roll your shoulders back and down and fold. Soften the chin towards the chest and then allow the face to recede slightly away from the floor. So you're not hanging the head, but more a softness. Muscles of the face relaxed. Center of the back of the skull drawing slightly back. Bring the hands anywhere along the legs. As you inhale, feel your spine lengthening from the pelvis all the way up towards the base of the neck. And exhale, gravity draws the torso closer to the floor. The whole torso, not just the head. Come back up to center. Turn to face the right leg, tent the fingertips either side of the right leg, rotate the torso, drawing the belly towards the center of the right thigh, and just walk your way forward over the leg. Reach the crown of the head towards the top of the foot. As you soften the chin down, still that sense of not letting the head hang, but rather face gently recedes. Keep your right hand, right arm down, spin the left arm along the plane of the cheek. Reach through the fingertips, maintain that lengthening of your spine as you breathe in, and a heaviness of the torso as you exhale. Push into your lower hand, come on up. Pivot to face the left leg, tent the fingertips either side of the leg, rotate your torso, navel moving towards the center of the thigh, and slowly walk your way forward. Left hand stays down. Take the right arm along the plane of your cheek. Reach through the fingertips. And push into the lower hand to come on up. Take the hands under the knees to help guide the soles of the feet together. Vadokanasana as you fold over the legs. Bring the elbows to rest anywhere along the legs and just gently guide the knees closer to the floor. Two more breaths. And come on back to center. Use your hands. Guide the knees together. Extend the left leg out. Cross your right foot over the left thigh. Interlace the hands around the front knee. Tug the knee in towards you. Soften the elbows in towards the rib cage. Lift from the crown of the head. Move this into your spinal twist. So you turn to face right. If you can, take the knee into the crook of the arm, or you might just hold on to the knee with that left hand. Keep the sitting bones anchored. Breathe in as you sit tall. Exhale as you rotate through the spine. Turn to face forward. You'll either repeat that or bend the left knee, tuck the left heel also in towards the hip, interlace the hands around the upper knee. So option one is just repeating the same.
Option 2 is both knees are bent, yet still turning to the right. Try to draw that right knee kind of forward on a diagonal, create that space in through the hip. You'll find that it helps to also deepen that twist. Unwind to center, take a gentle counter twist. And face forward. Uncross the legs, straighten them out, give the knees a little bit of a shake, and we'll change sides. Left knee bends, interlace the hands around the top knee, pull into the knee, tuck the elbows in, lift from the crown, find your breath. Another inhale. On your exhale this time, take the knee into the elbow, rotate to face left. You could also be holding onto the leg instead. And unwind back through center with the option of repeating the same, or you bend the bottom knee. Hands come back around the front knee. Tuck the elbows in, sit tall, inhale. Exhale and move into the twist. Dragging that left knee slightly forward on the diagonal. Unwind back to center. A nice easy counter twist. Face forward, uncross your legs, straighten them out, give the knees a bit of a shake. Come to the top of the mat if you're not already there, and you can keep your legs straight. Take the hands to the inner legs, drop the chin to the chest, point your toes, and curl your way down one vertebra at a time. Keep stretching the feet forward, round through the spine, each vertebra connecting with the mat. And once you come all the way down, if there is a last stretch that you feel your body is really craving, this is your practice. So go ahead and take a spinal twist or knees to the chest, whatever it is that you find would bring you greater ease in these last couple of minutes. And then once you've done those things, find your way into Shavasana. Close down the eyes. Separate the feet at the very least hip-width distance apart, but a bit wider is typically better. Rotate your palms to face the sky, drawing the baby fingers in towards the outer legs. Finding that full external rotation of the upper arms. From the tips of the toes to the crown of the head, relax. From the tips of the toes to the crown of the head, the full weight of your body surrenders to the earth.
From the tips of the toes to the crown of the head, the earth rises up to support the full weight of your body. Take just a moment to remember that there is nowhere else that you need to be and nothing else that needs to be done for these last 2 minutes. Give yourself the permission to fully integrate the benefits of the practice. Bring your awareness to your breath and start to breathe more deeply. Awaken the body, wiggle the fingers and toes. Rotate the wrists and ankles. Inhale through the nose, extend the arms overhead. Lengthen the spine, point the toes. And through the mouth, exhale. Bring the knees to the chest. Rock and roll forward and back and side to side. Find your way back to a seated, cross-legged position, palms of the hands together at the heart center. And we'll seal the practice with the sound of Om. Take a conscious breath in. Namaste.